Hi, I'm Lloydetta Quaicoe, welcoming you to Sharing Our Cultures. Joining me today in conversation is Patrice Godin. She is an early childhood educator and an advocate. Welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures. And joining me now is the lovely Patrice Godin. She's an early childhood educator and an advocate for the sector. Welcome to Sharing Our Cultures.
Thank you, Lloydetta. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. There's so much we've got to talk about.
Yes, there's a lot to talk
There's a lot
about
to
in
talk-
early childhood.
Yes, it is. But before we get there, I just want to know a little bit more about you and why you chose to come to Newfoundland Labrador.
Okay, I am a Jamaican by birth, and I left Jamaica in 2013 in in the quest for a better life for my children. Um, I studied early childhood education in a university in Jamaica that had a joint course with a college in Alberta, and we were responsible for getting jobs for ourselves. And I applied all over Canada, and Newfoundland is where accepted me.
So why did you choose Canada, though? I mean, all over Canada.
Yeah, it was a Canadian course, so the college was
Okay.
in Alberta. But I don't know, I always had a love for Canada as opposed to the US. But I always wanted to come to Canada.
All right. Okay. So what were your expectations when you were coming? What did you think it will look like, be like?
Well, I think it happened pretty quickly because I started the course. As soon as I finished the course, I started to apply for jobs. And when I got the job offer, I just packed up and left. So it wasn't, I never really had any expectations, but I knew that at the time, it was important for me to kind of carve a way for my children when it came time for them to go to university, and opportunities for education would be greater in my mind, and opportunities, just more opportunities for more learning and more better opportunities for jobs.
Okay. Thank you. Now, well, what was your experience when you first arrived?
It was the best experience ever. I came on a Thursday, I was in church on Sunday, and I met my very good friend, who is still my friend, Derek. And Derek introduced me to Marilyn and Gary, who are friends of his. And that has been my family ever since I've been here, and to this day.
Okay. Now, you did say you have expectation. You wanted to be a place there for your children
Yeah.
to have learning and all, and success. Um, did that happen for you? Was this a place for them for that?
It is. I have two girls. One's 19, and one's going on 18. The 19-year-old, she's studying fine arts in Grenfell, on the Grenfell campus. And 18-year-old is now enrolled in Memorial for Media and Communication. So I'm very happy about that.
Okay, that's great. Well, congratulations to them. I think
you.
that's a great achievement for them to do that. Yeah. So, what motivated you, though, to go into early childhood education?
I've always had a love for children and a fascination in seeing their growth and development. And as I said, the course was offered in the university. I saw it, and I did it, and I still love it to this day.
Okay. So, you've always wanted to be an educator?
I
Early
think so.
children. Okay, all right. So, because some people usually have a career and then they choose this one after.
Yes, my career of choice was actually marketing, and I studied marketing. But when the opportunity came for me to go into education, I did take it. I think I would have ended up in education anyway.
So that's where your heart was. So
That's where
that's
my
where you're
heart.
passionate about.
Yes.
Okay. Now I know that you did start a home daycare, family home daycare.
Yes.
Like, what motivated you to start that?
I think I had a dream once before coming to Canada or when I found out I was coming to Canada, to have a daycare that catered to unconventional hours. So I wanted to cater for people that did shift work because I knew that was a sector that it, the service didn't exist. And I was interested in doing that. But when I started the home daycare, actually, it wasn't an option. It was conventional hours, but I did it anyway because there was still a need for childcare.
Oh, yes, we do have a need for childcare. And I'm thinking that someone watching might want to think they could start a daycare, like, you know, at home or home care. What would you suggest they do? Like, what's the process? Where do they go with that?
It's very easy. It takes some time, but it's easy. Having a home daycare, you either have to own the property or have permission from your landlord to operate the business in there. There are city permits that you have to apply for, but Family and Childcare Connections, they are the governing body for family home daycares, and they have all the information. They take you through the process, they assign you a home visitor, and these people, they help you through the process of starting, and they have home visits every month. They're very they're very reachable. Like anything happens, you can always call your home visitor. They'll come in, they'll help you solve your problems. And very good for people who want to start now. Unlike when I started, there's a grant now from the government that helps you with startup.
Okay. So, what does this grant cover, if I can ask?
I think it covers if you have to do any renovations, if you have to get anything started, things like your equipment and so on. I'm almost sure that's what it covers, but it's a great help for someone who wants to start up.
Okay. And so if you have a space in your home and you feel that you want to have some children to care for in that home, what does the home need to have? Like what I mean, can anybody's home do? Like, I mean, if it's an apartment, then you get a permission from your landlord to do it. But the home itself, the physical home, what does it need to have?
You have to have a space that, and it depends on the age group that you're gonna do.
Okay.
I did infants, so I had to have a space where they could nap, for example. But my regular play space was also my nap space. So if you have, and you had, it's nice to have an area where they can play, a playground that's outside. Your windows have to be a certain, they have to be egress windows, so they have to be a certain size. You have to have 2 exits. Your fire alarm system has to be working. If it's not working, you can get that working or get it wired that way. But they're just minor things. Well, not minor, but there are things that can be done,
Okay.
can be achieved. You have a fire inspector that comes in, and they can tell you, and they come in every year and do inspections too. The service NL inspectors also come in for health inspections.
Okay. All right. So now you mentioned earlier that you are from Jamaica and you came here. What did you see were the adjustments maybe that you had to make? I know when you first came, Thursday you were here, Sunday you were in church. But outside of that, what were the kinds of things around in the community? Any adjustments you had to make or any challenges you faced?
The biggest challenge I had to face was was the weather, as I'm sure you know. But to be honest, it has been pretty seamless. I mean,
Okay.
I've always had help. My church family helps. I have friends that are very helpful too. So even if I had things that I had to transition into, they were good. I worked in center-based care, and that wasn't the best because, as you know now, most of Newfoundland and Labrador's childcare sector is privately owned, and that means it's about profit, and the workers in the sector are the least valued, and that is what led me to advocacy.
Okay. We will hear about the advocacy later on, but I wanted to find out, so when you came, you got the connections. So what about things like your food, your hair products, your cosmetics, like things that were you able to easily find those or somewhere around?
No, I had to adjust. That was a big adjustment too, because then, but I guess I'm very flexible, and I just used what was available. Hair products, yeah, we found a few. Foods, we wouldn't find Jamaican foods, but I'd always, if someone is coming into Canada, or I would have the products taken in, or if someone goes to Toronto because they're in Toronto. So it was easy that way. But apart from that, I think we basically just adjusted,
Right, and just bought what was around and
used what
so
was
the use was
around.
around and made the substitute. Yes, I can remember the time I spent in Jamaica. Ackee and saltfish
Sawfish.
was
Yeah,
a
that's a
main dish,
national dish.
national dish, right? Which was very good. But I don't know if you can get ackee here now.
Yeah, you can get it in the supermarkets now, but
Yeah,
it's very
okay,
expensive. But
okay.
we have an abundance of sawfish,
Yes.
so
You came to
satisfied.
the you came to the right place. At least there's the shellfish, yeah. And of course, we know in the history that
The
Newfoundland
trade,
did trade right between Jamaica and for the rum,
saltfish and the rum.
for some fish and rum. So
Yes.
that you were almost like coming to a place that you already had a
Had something from
connection
here. That
from.
the
Yes.
fruits are a big thing because the fruits aren't here and aren't accessible, and even if they take them in, they're not of good quality.
Right.
But we have different fruits. So I guess moving from your home into somewhere else, it's just accepting the changes.
Right,
I
yeah. And
think.
then just adjusting to them, part of the acculturation process,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later on. So we'll take a short break and we'll come back. We'll find out a bit more about your early childhood education and your advocacy work and the organizations that you're involved with. And that's going to be quite interesting. So I can't
It
wait to
is.
find out. So stay tuned. Sharing Our Cultures will be right back and you'll find out more about Patrice.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better. At Rogers TV, we know our community thrives because of the incredible people who support it. Today, we want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all our amazing volunteers. Your hard work, dedication, and passion make our productions possible, bringing local stories and events to life for everyone to enjoy. Whether you're behind the camera, in the control room, or helping at events, your contributions are invaluable.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
And welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures and to my conversation with Patrice Gordon. We want to continue the conversation now by finding out how does one get the certification for or to be an early childhood educator?
So for Newfoundland and Labrador,
Yes,
the certification body is the Association of Early Childhood Educators of Newfoundland and Labrador. That's ASNL. And you just, if once you've done your course, they have different levels of certification that's based on your education. So you call them up and you submit your documents that you have from your education, and they'll tell you what level you are. So early childhood educators are leveled trainee and 1 to 4.
Okay.
So it depends on your qualifications.
So when you did the course with the college in
Alberta.
right? What was your level then? And when you had to have your certification, how was that determined?
It was pretty seamless because it was a Canadian college, and all I had to do was submit my documents to ASNL, and I was granted a level 2 at the time. So it was a early learning and childcare diploma. So diplomas are level 2s.
Okay. So you said at that time, has that level changed for you now?
I'm working on changing because I'm
Okay.
doing an inclusive course. I'm enrolled into an inclusion course, and that will take me up now to level 3,
Oh, okay. All right. So what's the highest level?
4.
Okay. All right. You're getting close. You're getting there. Well, what other
Working on
course
it.
do you need to take to get there?
Level 4s are degree,
Okay. So you have to have a
a
degree.
bachelor's degree.
Okay. All right. Now, I've heard you speak about the childcare now. I guess it's maybe all that part of the advocacy work. I'm not sure. But we do have childcare now. So can you explain what that means?
Childcare now is a national organization, not for profit, that advocates for quality, non-profit, accessible childcare across Canada. Childcare now, Newfoundland and Labrador started in 2023, and that's a coalition of a couple of groups. We have ABCs and ECEs, that's made up of parents. We have the Jimmy Pratt Foundation. We have YWCA St. John's. ECEs are sitting on the steering committee. Yes, I think that's
Okay.
it. So the steering committee is made up of around 12 people. And we have Newfoundland and Labrador Labour Federation also. So they're a part of it. So what we do is we're working on issues related to the childcare sector and specifically early childhood educators, their compensation, things like salary, just to make sure that we have an early childhood sector that's mainly not for profit, that works for families and also works for early childhood educators.
Okay. So for early childhood educators, they're not considered as teachers as such,
No,
right? Even though part of your work involves teaching, how does that?
it is education, Lloydetta,
Okay.
and that's something for me that a part of this advocacy work that I do, I aim to educate people about early childhood educators being actual educators. Research has shown that birth to 5 are the most critical years in a child's life. That's where they learn, that's where they start learning, and that's the foundation for learning. And if we don't get it right, I always say between birth and 5, we are not going to get it right. People are of the impression that they come to daycare and they play all day. That's all we do. We do a lot of playing, but it's playing that actually teaches, it enhances, it helps them to develop. This is where their cognitive skills are developed. This is where language skills are developed, social skills are developed, and it is very important. So until we recognize ECEs as professionals, we won't ever get out of the idea that it's just a babysitting job or it's just child minding.
Okay. And so we know that lots of parents are having difficulty finding childcare learning centers or,
Yes.
home-based childcare for their children. How do you think the province can help solve that?
Well, the province has been trying to do it. The federal government launched a program in 2021 that is a Canada-wide early learning and childcare system, and that has allowed parent fees to go down to $10 per day.
Right.
So it's more accessible. It's more affordable, not accessible. It's a lot more affordable. So it is highlighted now, the fact that we don't have enough spaces. So a lot more people can afford to pay $10 a day as opposed to $50 or $60 per day. So there are a lot more people now looking for childcare. And what happened is, I think the government put the cart before the horse when they reduced the fees without providing the spaces, without ensuring that the spaces were there. So the problem that we've run into is we have a need and no spaces. What there are initiatives now, because there's money from the federal government under this same CWELC agreement to increase spaces, but it is taking time. And we are asking for more not-for-profits. It is hard for not-for-profits because not-for-profits don't have money for startups. So even though the government is giving not-for-profits money, it's not enough to bridge the gap between what the money that they have and renovations that they have to do or acquisition of a building for childcare and putting everything in place to make it safe and workable.
So it means then, even though there is a $10 daycare, so every child is charged
$10 per day.
but the parents have to find a home or
You have to find a space.
a space, right? A space that would take the $10, right?
Yes.
So can someone run an early childhood learning center that costs more?
Oh, yes.
Instead of going for the $10? So why is that? Like, why is the $10 a day not attractive to everyone or everyone who offers this service?
There are two types of people that operate childcare. There are regulated and unregulated.
Okay.
The regulated centers, they have the $10 a day, and if they choose to, they can have $10 a day. Unregulated, they're not allowed to do. They're not afforded the opportunity to avail of the $10 a day because they're not regulated. So if they want to, they can always, because most of the time people don't want to go through all the steps to get regulated or to get licensed. So if they really want to, things have to be up to code. If it's a home daycare, for example, your home has to be up to code. The thing I was talking about with the fire alarm system and the egress windows and so on. So if someone wants to put it in their home, but they don't want to, let's say, change their windows, or they don't want to put an alarm system, a fire alarm system in their house, then they operate unregulated. So then their fees are not $10 per day.
Okay, but if it's unregulated, though, is that safe for the children who are in those spaces?
There are unregulated spaces that are safe and are quality,
Okay.
but it's the operator's choice whether they want to get licensed or not, as well as there are regulated spots that are are not up to par.
All right. Okay. So, but the unregulated ones are not checked by the government or by inspectors. They're not inspected.
They're not checked by, no,
Okay. Okay.
they don't have regular inspections.
All right. I wasn't aware of that. So, what are some of the issues that are facing the early childhood educators now in this province?
The biggest thing that's facing early childhood educators now is the lack of a pension plan for most people. There is, if you're in a center, there are some centers that offer a pension plan, but majority of them don't. So early childhood educators are in the system. There are a lot of them that have been in the system for 30 years, 35 years, and of course they're older and they have no idea how they're going to retire because they don't have a pension plan. So they continue working and they keep working because they have to live. So younger people that are coming into the sector, they don't realize the importance of having a pension plan. So they may not be thinking that that's important. They're more focused on their pay, their monthly salary, which by the way is now equal because the wage grid was increased with the wage grid was implemented with CWELC. So now it's level. Now level one at a certain, if you have a certain years of experience, all level ones with 3 years experience are paid at the same rate, unless the center that you're at has a premium pay. So there are some centers for more reasons than one that will offer more than the wage grid, but it's not a lot more. So it's more equal across the board if you're leveled and depending on your years of service.
Do you know whether this is right across the board for throughout the country or only for the province in terms of the wage grid?
It's true for Newfoundland and Labrador and some other provinces, but not all.
Okay, all right. Wow, so that's something that we need to be concerned about.
Yeah, because compensation it's very important. Compensation. Another thing that we are keen on now is also a medical and dental benefits plan. Government introduced that for Newfoundland and Labrador last year. But the problem with that is if you're an early childhood educator with a family, it doesn't necessarily benefit you. You don't see the benefits of it because what the government covers is an individual with just the medical benefits plan. So if you have a family, if you're getting $50 as an individual, you have a family, it's the same $50 that you're getting. And that, we're working in a sector and we're caring for children, but it doesn't encourage you to have a family if you're looking at the medical and dental benefits plan.
But it should cover the family because some other insurance companies and plans for other businesses and institutions, it does cover the family.
Medical benefits is something that ECEs deserve to have the best plan because we are the ones that children are the ones that are most vulnerable. Apart from the aged, children are the ones that come in with all the viruses and we're there with them all day. And now that I mention it, I remember sick days is another thing that early childhood educators don't have. So you come and you're exposed to all these germs, you get sick, and you get up in the morning, and no matter how you feel, you're going to push yourself to work, because if you don't work, you don't get paid. So we are also, childcare now is also advocating for paid sick days for early childhood educators.
Thanks for telling us this. It's really important, though. Yeah,
It's very important.
when you think of how vulnerable children are, and those are those early days when they need to have the foundation of a good education, you know, and their cognitive skills. There's so much that is
So much that
and they
they
spend
learn.
so much time the whole day.
Yeah,
so
they
most
spend
of
most
them,
of the time with the
yeah.
easy than they
Right,
do
yeah.
more than they do at home.
That's right,
And if early childhood educators don't exist, parents don't get to work. So we are also we also help the economy.
Right, very much so. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I really appreciate lots of things I didn't know at all. So I'm well educated, a little bit more than when we started. So
glad.
thank you so much for taking your time being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Thanks to Patrice for sharing her experiences with us, and thanks to you for watching. Join us again next time and meet some more amazing individuals who are making a difference in our communities.
Come together, you and me, come together right now, for all the world to see. Come together, you and me, come together right now. There's joy in unity.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
This is Rogers TV.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888-TAXI-GUY or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober. For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver, you've stayed over, called home, you've called a cab or a friend, and planned ahead. Let's keep doing the right thing. Support sober driving by getting yourself and your friends home safely.
Do the right thing.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
This is Rogers TV.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old